September 12, 1943, Benito Mussolini was in deep trouble. 2 months ago, his fascist regime was overthrown by the military elites. A week ago, the Allies landed on the Italian peninsula. 3 days ago, the new Italian government arrested him and switched side to the Allies. He was now held by 200 guards in a hotel, accessible only via a cable car, on the highest mountain in the Italian peninsula. Impossible to escape, the Duce has given up all hopes as he awaits for his eventual trial by the Allies. But unbeknownst to him, 10 gliders with 100 German special forces were coming to his rescues under the personal order of Adolf Hitler. This is the legendary military operations, the Gran Sasso raid. 3 days ago at the armistice of Cassapelle, Italy officially surrendered and joined the Allies. Germany immediately invades from the north. The king and the new Italian government barely escaped Rome before it forced to the Nazi. At the Führer's headquarters, the Wolf's Lair, Hitler was furious and he gave the order to break Mussolini out of prison and reinstate him as the fascist leader of Italy. Hitler told his general, "Now go save my friend." Central to Hitler's management style is divide and rule. He was able to maintain ultimate control by giving the same order to two competing branches of the military, the SS and the Luftwaffe. So SS Colonel Otto Skorzeny was ordered to track Mussolini, while Luftwaffe General Kurt Student was to execute the liberation. But the Italian government knew this all too well, so Mussolini was guarded by the whole battalion of troops and was moved around several times to different secret locations. The Germans simply didn't know where he was, until SS intelligence intercepted a coded message that suggests Mussolini was imprisoned in a hotel in the Gran Sasso mountain, 3,000 meters above sea levels. So the Luftwaffe began formulating a daring plan to rescue Mussolini. On September 12, 3 days after Italy's surrender, at 13:05, 10 gliders with 180 German paratroopers took off from Rome to begin the operation. Simultaneously, at 1400, 2 paratrooper companies launched a ground attack to capture the cable car station beneath the mountain. The Italians offered no resistance except for 2 soldiers who were then shot by the German. All telephone lines were cut. Now everything is dependent on the Luftwaffe. 5 minutes later, at 14:05, the gliders began landing on the mountain near the hotel. At such a high altitude without any actual runway, this was extremely risky, but surprisingly only 1 glider crashed. The elite German paratrooper poured out and rushed into the hotel at lightning speed.
Der Duce ist frei. Männer des SD und der Waffen-SS sowie Fallschirmjäger haben den Auftrag des Führers erfüllt.
And here comes the key of the whole operation. SS Colonel Skorzeny brought the famous Italian general Fernando Soletti as a hostage, who was then forced to order his soldiers not to resist. The 200 well-equipped Italian guards were completely taken by surprise after seeing their generals, and they simply didn't know what to do. Not a single shot was fired. In 10 minutes, Mussolini walked out of the hotel as a free man, taking pictures of his own Italian prison guard as well as German soldiers. The mission was a glaring success. Here, SS Colonel Skorzeny sensed a political opportunities to promote himself, so he skillfully positioned himself right next to Mussolini at every photo. When the Luftwaffe was about to fly Mussolini out, Skorzeny again insisted on flying with the Duce, even if it risked overloading the plane. So after an extremely dangerous but successful takeoff, the plane landed here at Lazio, where they would continue their flight to Nazi Germany. 2 days after being rescued, Mussolini met with Hitler's in the Wolf's Lair, where he would soon become Hitler's puppet in Italy, fighting a losing battle with the Nazi. World War II in Europe would continue for another 1.5 years until their eventual downfall and death. The Gran Sasso raid was a huge military and political success for the Nazi. With an SS propaganda coup by Heinrich Himmler and Joseph Goebbels, Otto Skorzeny would emerge as the star of the mission instead of the Luftwaffe. The fake liberator would rose to fame, earning him the nickname as the most dangerous man in Europe. After the defeat of Nazi Germany, he was later tried as a war criminal but was acquitted.
Did you take part in the liberation of Mussolini from Italy in 1943?
Scorsese would escape prison and fled to Spain. He would later become the military advisor to the Egyptian government, but allegedly as a Mossad spy.
You must have been approached by other nations to indulge in military activities.
This has happened, yes, exactly. And there is a lot of countries which oppose.
Would you name some of the countries?
Oh, I can name, for instance, United States of America.
What do they want you to do?
Oh, some special work.
You won't say exactly.
I wouldn't say it. You don't talk about it.
No. Have you been approached by countries?
Regardless, Mussolini would later say this about his legendary rescue. Stories of escape and liberation, dramatic, romantic, sometimes fantastic, can be found in history at every age and for every people. But my escape from the Gran Sasso prison still appears today as the most daring, the most romantic of all.